Welcome back, friends. In today's video, I'm going to take you through my own home and my own little mess while giving you tips on how you can organize your closets the same way I do mine. If you're new to my channel, then hello and thank you for joining our little tribe here. I talk about productivity, minimalism and lifestyle. Now, without wasting any more time, let's begin with organizing our spaces. Grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and let's begin. The first and most important thing to do is to clear out all the items from the closet or wardrobe that we intend to organize. Place these items in 3 different boxes, bags or spaces, namely for donation or gifting, for throwing or recycling, and for selling. While you do this, it is important to try and not to organize or to plan where the item that you're removing might be better suited placed. Thinking about each item as you are pulling it out or trying to sort them as they come out from hiding will only make this process longer and distract you from your end goal, which is to declutter and organize. You may want to group the items as you pull them out, but do not yet decide if they are staying or leaving. Trust me, this is the best time to put on some music that will motivate you to keep working or to listen to an audiobook on even your favorite podcast. My family and I had recently moved into a new home and we haven't yet got a chance to really get along with organizing our spaces. So we have 4 linen closets or storerooms, if you may. I mentioned in one of my other videos, which I will insert a link up above, that it is very important before you start decorating or storing things away. It is first important to live in that space first for a few weeks, if not a few months, before noticing how you and your family live or use that space. For example, I have 4 different linen closets, as I mentioned, or just wardrobes that I can use as storage areas. Even though I don't really own a lot of stuff, it is easy for us to sometimes just hide the things that we no longer need in these closets. Before we start to put things back together in the closet, it is important to take this opportunity to clean all surfaces. This not only motivates our mind to continue the organizing process with ease and keeping the end goal in mind, but it will keep the items that we store clean and free of debris. I have these awkward hidden spaces on either side of each shelf in my closet that is clearly not visible from the outside. What I notice is that when things get put in those spaces, they clearly never come out to see daylight again. So with that in mind, the third thing that we need to do is figure out how we would want those spaces to be used or not used. Just because you have a space, it isn't necessary to get it filled. Learn to be okay with empty spaces and think of it as spaces that allow our items or your items to be stored, to shine and hold a higher value than it otherwise would if it were to be trampled in a pile of odd stuff. If you are liking this video so far, do hit the like button so I know and comment below on what exactly is holding you back from organizing a space that you have long been thinking about. I would love to know. Before I went shopping for containers or storage boxes, I took measurements of my closet spaces to ensure I bought boxes that were not too big or not too small for the space. And also, it is always a good idea to use boxes or storage tubs that are of the same color or similar colors to provide some visual coherence. However, you could also achieve that same look with boxes and tubs that you already own by either painting them or spraying them with the same color if you need to. I find that when items are stored in similar tubs or when visual coherence is achieved, every time I look at the closet, it motivates me to keep it organized just the way it is, as misplacing just one item will make it pop out even more, only screaming out to me to be placed back in its own little house. These closets also currently house items that my family and I have stored away, and I can now better understand from the way that we all use these closets and what would work best for us when it is organized, which is why I suggest that we live in the space first to understand how we use the space. It is important to organize our spaces to work in favor of our daily living habits as opposed to forcing us to change our habits, which will inadvertently turn the newly organized space quickly into a mountain of chaos, leaving all your hard work just where you started. This is what that turns a lot of people away from the notion of organizing, because it just seems that whenever you're done organizing and cleaning a space, the efforts are only in vain as the chaos and clutter quickly returns. As the homemaker, we may sometimes feel the need to keep the entire family organized the way it works for us rather than how we would like the house to look like. However, while it is easy to make and decorate a house, only love, care, and fairness can make a home. While I sort through my things, I'm careful not to throw out anything that I know means something to my husband or children. If I were to throw the items they own when they were clearly still using it, it will not only build resentment in them towards my careless behavior, but it will also create a resistance on their part to keep or to help keep the once decluttered space organized. Ever since adopting a minimalist lifestyle, my family has slowly picked up the habits of being a minimalist and are in every way capable of carrying out their own decluttering projects when the time feels right for them. The next part could be common sense to some, however, not very sensible to others. And that is to keep the items in groups either by category or how you use it. For example, you may want to store stationery items under stationery or add your journals to that same box and call it your journal box. I always have a space for miscellaneous or randoms, like a box to store the items that tend to travel places depending on its use, but it still needs to be found when needed, such as our reading glasses. When my husband and I, while we both have 2 pairs of reading glasses each, when we read, we tend to move our glasses around the house, and having a house for them or a storage box for them here means that we know they can be found here too, if not in the other spaces. And lastly, while you stand back and admire the work of art that you have just created, don't forget that to keep it this way, it is important to show off your hard work to your family members and get their opinion too if this works for them. This will ensure that they see how hard you have worked and feel as responsible as you do to keep it organized. It is normal when we are in a hurry to take things and put them in the wrong spaces or to mess up the things in the box itself while looking for something. This is okay and completely normal. Allocate no more than 10 minutes a week to quickly tidy up the space. This 10 minutes is not to do an entire declutter and revisit the value of each item that it still holds to your life, but rather merely to tidy up that space and return it to where it now belongs. Enjoy your tidy space and remember to celebrate your win by posting a picture of it on social media or send a photo to your friends and family. I hope you have enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. I hope you would consider subscribing to my channel. It is completely free and helps my channel grow. Also, there's a little bell button next to the subscribe button below, which allows you to get notified every time I post a video. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Have a great weekend and I will see you Monday. Bye.